One of the underlying motivations of this Crazy Angels podcast is to impress upon you all the need to multi-skill, to have one deep, profound skill, whether that's playing or producing or writing or singing, but then a wide range of supporting skills. But I call this a T-shape because we have to keep the culture alive in the face of the dead hand of AI, the dead hand of big tech that wants to dehumanize everything. So we've got to be that strong.
I want to just quickly say to any young artists or producers or anybody thinking of getting into doing this professionally or whatever, not professionally, don't be afraid if you're not good at a certain thing, because Prince could do everything. Stevie Wonder could do everything. Like literally they played all the instruments on their records, but not everybody can do everything. You know, Pascal is an amazing songwriter and lyricist. He does, simple arrangements to the best that he can do of his ability, but then he recognizes where his limitations are. And I think this is so important. Like, there's nothing wrong with trying to overcome your limitations. Like, go for it, man. Try to be the best you can be. But the minute you realize, because this is the very fragile ego we're talking about now.
Yep.
And what I love about Pascal is, his ego is so elastic. Like, he's not, trying to tell everyone, no, tell Luca, I don't like that guitar sound, and do it again. And, like, that's not the kind of guy he is. And,
No
and
way.
it's also not the kind of producer I am.
So, I mean, our core metaphor is the river, so
Right.
I'll write the song, the lyrics, the chords, which in effect is the banks of the river. And then I'll come to David with 2 or 3 arrangements. David, is it a skiffle, do you think? Now here's a boogie version, and here's just a straight blues shuffle. What do you think? And back and forth, we discuss it, and then and David makes the call, and I almost always agree. And then the boys and girls in the band play within the banks of that river. And Luca comes up with these great lines. David and I may suggest something, but it's his work. Similarly with Levi's spectacular videos, we'll define the banks of the river, give some suggestions, but I fully trust Levi's taste and sense of pacing. And you always surprised me, Levi, like, whoa, how did you come up with that? And how did you get her hips to sway to the music? I mean, holy cow.
Yeah,
For example, right?
Before the podcast started, I was just telling Levi, like, just naturally, like, sometimes I'll watch his videos and like, I'll forget it's me and I'll forget it's Pascal and I'll just be like, oh, what happens next? Maybe not that dramatically, but the point is I get engaged, and that's
so good to hear.
Yeah, it's I don't think that's so easy, in today's landscape of oversaturated everything. Nah.
Just to be very frank, and I think this will be kind of funny. Whenever I start a new music video, I have no idea what to do and how to start. I have no idea
Good.
how
Beautiful.
I'm gonna solve the problem.
Great.
No idea. And I just go step by step, tiny bit, and I fill in the blanks, and I just trust the process every time. Yeah.
It's beautiful, man.
Great
That's how
lesson.
it should be done. Yeah. You just sort of throw it at the wall, you see what sticks. You peel off the rest and then throw some more on, It's like, yeah, I mean, it was very similar. I remember the first song for Pascal. I did two versions of Come to Your Window, Sarah, before I got the third one, which is the one he liked. And they outright rejected the first two. Like,
Well, that was my wife. That was my wife.
Well, okay, yeah, right. Because she
Her
has
favorite song.
she has this thing called the goosebump test, and she's like, "Well, it just didn't give me goosebumps." I'm like, the third one that gave me goosebumps. So we very much involve Pascal's family. They are definitely involved in the process because this is a legacy. Like, can you imagine, like, his grandchildren, great grandchildren? They're going to be able to, like, hear this is the thing. I know I told the story once before, so I'll do the fast version, but I met with a director that wanted to work with me as a film composer. Long story short, when I said, how much is your budget? He said, oh, it's $3 million. I said, oh, I don't mean for the whole film. I mean, how much is your budget for the music? We don't pay composers. You do it for free. And I'm like, no. And I said to him, would you go to your pizzaiolo, which is the guy who makes the pizza in the pizzeria, and ask him for a pizza for free? Right. And he's like, no, of course not. I would never do that. And it's like, well, what I do has more value, and what I do will last forever. And the pizza will be in your toilet tomorrow. So it's incredible. What we do is literally forever. The podcasts, they're going to
That's
be on
right.
YouTube forever. The albums and the singles are
Yeah.
going to be on Spotify and Apple forever. You know,
We were
That's
talking
incredible.
about that. We were talking about that. These are evergreen, and we give everything we have, and we're authentic. Every song, every lyric, every guitar riff, every piece of production in these podcasts, because we recognize a responsibility. And again, this is our countermeasure to the deadening effect of big tech and AI.